Gilg Jew, Gilg J as Gilg Nerach.
Claare Gael, Shen and Claare Henga Shaw as Babaliam Shua Jaldaga. Hello and welcome to Claare Gael. I'm Robert Kitting Carswell, Robert Carslach.
Have you ever had tell of old Bobby Bob?
And in Claare Gael you'll hear one thread in the English language as Nishu Clash and Snaelia Gisagilg, and you'll hear another thread of it in the Manx Gaelic, Chinyanamera, the mother tongue of Ellen Vanning, the Isle of Man. As Bannacht and Jurish, William Gell has unexpectedly, well to me anyway, brought us out of Douglas along the old Castletown road, just when it looked as though he was going to take us to Upper Douglas to talk about that. Anyway, we're about to skirt the town as it was, now city, before jumping back to a more central position. Renshin Goltaiach der Skiel Ferish na Brothers Grimm, Machion Ben Rain as Tier Jit de Ve Ski Jane Ninek, as te Gui the Jinri Chit de Ve Fiach as de Etlach Ersul, de Berg Shi a Grish. As the Jar of Shen Mote, as Ersul di Getlach as a Gael. Molly Cullinan of the Ringlets, Molly Gourch na Chulinon, is the subject of our first song. It's sung by the Irish quartet Talua. Tashu Geisteach Rish Radio Vanning, Stashu Nanashun, the Scholar Scalia Mach, by Dúlish Ellen Vanning.
Meshkani heim ni small, Brennana go Joni blushi may, oh Chemi mochalim biago, no churachim fogi antarged, is Father la mummi, is Father la mummi. Is Father la mi sargasasi, Molly na goch ni chwalana. Den ik mijn tiger an ard, is ben kara bonbon ja baraka gom, ni like me and then a doggo. Is the harla dum seal chevra we got Ien hoch shi maravan bio No bukol ja sok den dandana sursi Malina Gurni Halanon is Father Lumi is Father Lumi or Dimixi is Father Lumi Sag sursi Malina Gurni Halanon.
Talua from the southeast of Ireland, and there they sang Molly Goch na Chulanan, inspired by hearing it sung by a singer from the southwest of Ireland, in fact Muireann na Chabhlibh, whom we'll hear later on. As we noted last time, William Gell refers to the origins of the nunnery. That was about 1187, something like that, or perhaps 1190, for those who left the world to serve their God as brides of Christ in beautiful seclusion. And he continues, what varied beauties here displayed, nature with art's best gems inlaid, the flowering shrub, the grassy glade, bark-bosomed streams skirting about, in sluggish coursing long drawn out, hides from the view the nimble trout. The woodland monarchs soar aloft, with stately crowns where winds breathe soft, furnish a leafy platform oft for counsels of the cawing rook. On velvet sward in shady nook, the thoughtful read the earth's best book. With sun in his declining hour, born in the air with subtle power, sweet scents from many a fragrant flower, peeping the shelf-ring trees between, the mansion stands, with walls unseen, clothed with a mantle of ivy green. Well, the house and lodges, in fact, as we see them today, may look quite old, I suppose. Oh, I suppose they are old now, but it's Strawberry Hill revived Gothic from the late 1820s, early 1830s. Ta dynne Gultrúdan Gael is te clashen Correa fiech boeren shaw, as ish grey de rawi rugged mornina ri, ach de rau butcherach currajuri. Te shira ersen de choenelie, Ljoris golgus tain a sorges a Gael, on te shan ben, ni cheppel de be as jog, ach te cor ersen gin de old veg, en nonne hig kadel ersen, as ge jigel as choenelie. Te de golstjag segere as wein a jade wer carnain de chartari, as de vorchte norri rishtri lei. Te grei de jiggy mush men on lei, as een chid lei de jiggy ons kaart as keer kabel ben tarne, as een na lei ons kaart les keer kabel rai, as verjere en tras lei ons kaart les keer kabel do. Ach, te grei, man a wel in de rouge, dacht na gadle, es de ginne feliel de livrei. Te cor gelden, jees, te fedden a tie on ten shan ben. Ach, tre renke en tie henken shan ben huggers doortie, mo wunje wach, ta was ledden ski, tarstjach as urechu heen, as he as you. Now, Welsh singer Gwilym Bowen Rhys revisits a Welsh nursery rhyme here, but the horned seesaw seems to be an actual saw with teeth with which he's earning some money.
Seesaw gorniog, enich tair ceiniog, ceiniog I mi, a ceiniog I ti, a ceiniog I tum, am benthyg y Seesaw gorniog, hela tair sgwarnog, deunaw I mi, a deunaw I ti, a deunaw I Sion, am benthyg y Lliwio ceiniog y dydd, gwneud ten goffin I hwcyn y crydd, a siencyn ar un a'i folaf ond dyn, os na chaiff o gwrwn I weithio ddim. glas ag methu siarad Saesnag. Yes a no a dyna fo, wel dyna chi Saesnag will y go. So Ben Jerry do, cysgu heddiw'r o meddwi ddo. Sioni machine a'i fys yn ei dyn yn chwarae ffidil ar tamborin. Ceiniog I mi a cheiniog I ti a cheiniog I twm am benthyg y llun.
Gwilymbo and Rhys, seesaw gorniog. Say a nursery rhyme, but there's hare hunting in it. There's a cobbler making a coffin. There's a farrier who won't speak English apart from saying yes or no. And there's sleeping off a hard night in the pub. And as for Shonny Machine's fingers, well, probably best left unsaid, although it wasn't left unsung, in fact. Chydjin, dwrt yn dynia, chydjin am I na yw veg. A chydegi an si, a chorer bi, as dwrt i'r man a felw gi veg, gaw bulgam as a chaban sio, ach an ungeert, as esh sŵl. Ma so ve na chorer rauwer as renne yw. So fast the musjis lag high mach sa gere de jade wer charn en de char dari, as dorcht den fiach. Goudswin a jade won shen, jene dol tajemach ski. Nach wat is surl in de soja, as hugge je hin na Irish tamelt. Gerawi Harawi fosen kadla, a chaleers vei a chora hin na lai shint mach, ren na sulien ega duna, as renny kadla getrom, mar de beg wegger by se tail, jenach toestay. Eg gisarachlag henke vier, se gaart, we gulder tarn kerkavel ben, ach wie trimsjach, as visek hanne de begen dunje na gadla, as me so tra henkis jach se gere, on shen vein a lies on shigeres. Retiring now by riverbank, note we the god on either bank of flowering vegetation rank. Through meadow green by tinkling rill, reach we the old-time Pulrose Mill, its whirring wheels now hushed and still. Well, this is taking the footpath through what became a hotly contested subject when in 1892 Major Tubman tried to close the path through from the old Castletown Road along by Pulrose and then out by Saddlestone to Kirk Braddan. His son tried the same thing in 1901 and it came up again in 1906, so that may well have influenced William Gell's reference to it here. The Pulrose Mill site was lost to the development of the power station in 1928. In 1885, the Pulrose Mill had actually become the sanitary steam laundry, a commercial operation for hoteliers. There were two premises, one in Ramsey and the other one in Pulrose Mill, and the proprietor of both was Mr. Dury Evans, who was also involved in the production of mineral waters, which were called the Niagara. Another musical scion of the Henderson family, that was Ewan Henderson with an evocation of Corrie Vicharicha, a corrie on Ben A in the Torridon Hills, which is a fair bit north of his native area and Garishton Fort William. And Shodan and Chidvartain the Haishinen. Siodiw stasiwn yn asiwn radio Banning, as stasiw geisiach rys Claare na Gael, mer yn pyn Robert Cytyn Corswell, Robert a Corslach.
Did the ever hear tell of old Bobby Bob?
Te cediw clash yn Claare na Gael rish, na fod I son yn chyrchir, ma'n raw cediw clash ni a chyrchir sio, lor is golgus yn ynadega radio Banning, as rai a craman esh G, esh rish, as tir a gedden master yn rôl o de Clarion on shen. As my beliat, ta podcast gentji, vis vergeten eg in a dega radio Vanning, the via Apple Podcasts, Amazon Audible, Spotify, Google Podcasts, TuneIn, na Alexa. From the Nunnery, we've come by the footpath to Pulrose Mill, so we're in the vicinity of today's Groves Road, but then we follow on further to the other side of the new Castletown Road. Note on this road the ancient saddle, where old-time bogies sat astraddle, though some esteemed this naught but twaddle. Well, the saddle stone is still in place in the wall on the south side of Saddle Road, but the modern building up of the road and pavement level have now made it closer to the ground than it was previously, so perhaps more people are now able to sit astride it and make a wish, as people were doing a couple of 100 years ago. And just beyond this point we mark nestles the stately home and park of Mannin's legal patriarch. Hail, Drinkwater, hailest of men. Well, the Drinkwaters were a Liverpool Manx family following a marriage with the Lease family. Sir George Drinkwater leased the Kirby estate from 1835 and he bought it in 1840. As Henky Vain Chart as Rennie Claare, as daier, a charenni dústa. A lair gain ag mun la henken chan ven as renni corlesh a hon bí as joch, a charawis on Gael weg. Ach a dagia on she a chorer bí, as renni kleina der a gawi bulgum as a chaban. Mas gisar a chlag hias jach sa gera de vein a chiadu wer a charnain de chart dari, as de orchten a fiech. Ach, vei chwish ledet chis leis skies getrom, nach ginnach na alten ega kummelsoes een a sage. As rawi giri en a din, vei ersen lai chis, as hutje trom na gadle. As tre henk fair a fiech leis na kerkabel raiek, vei trimshach, as bevis ega hanna de bergen dunje na gadle. As hai hugge, as unshen vein a lai, as a ginnach weg dus day. A lair gain henken chan ven as vrai jane of a ginnaware, as rawi giri gedden best na rawi arltach de een of the you. Now the Breton word for plenty is elaise, and that's also the title of a quartet who play Breton dance music, but here, in fact, they forsake their instruments for voices, and they're accompanied by a stamping foot and by hand clapping, and actually, I'm not quite sure how the song goes, but they seem to be singing about Satan.
En revenant de Saint-Jean-de-Mont, on passa par un village. On passa par un village qu'avait un moulin à vent qui faisait farine à tout vent. Qui faisait farine à tout vent. Que dans ce moulin à vent, une tant jolie meunière. Une tant jolie meunière qui appelait les passants. Entrez dans mon moulin à vent. Entrez dans mon moulin à vent. Un jour un monsieur passa un monsieur à belle mine. Un monsieur à belle mine qui dit s'appeler Satan entra dans le moulin à vent.
Entra dans le moulin à vent.
Depuis ce jour on voyait le moulin tourner sans cesse. Le moulin tournait sans cesse, la farine et le froment abondaient au moulin à vent.
Abondait au moulin à vent.
Et puis un jour on vit passer le monsieur à belle mine. Le monsieur à belle mine étau un grand coup de vent emporta le moulin à vent.
Emporta le moulin à vent.
À Saint-Jean l'on disait que la tant jolie meunière, que la tant jolie meunière pour avoir de l'agrément avait vendu son âme à Satan.
Avait vendu son âme à Satan.
Dans la marmite de Satan s'enfuit la jolie meunière. S'enfuit la jolie meunière qui attirait les passants. Il n'est plus le moulin à vent. Non, il n'est plus le moulin à vent.
And that's Breton band Elaith, and they were singing probably Satan, it would be pronounced, but it appears to be Satan. I don't know whether it's that very figure or whether it's something else at all. It didn't show up in my Breton dictionary. Ach dregere, chanodum as chajinami na you. Ach renny cor lesh na Clarion de V as a caban de fin as huggy a drosh. As tre henke sor stiach ons na stroinen egge, ga dod e frele heen by, a gawi bulgum moor. Tre van oer tarn a gere, haie maag se gere, as jase de garn en de gar darry, dorchten nine ree. Gouds haien tre sja, henke de wei nas deni as na steni, as verjere, hugge a heen na lai, as renne kaarlig o tromus klaag. Eg gies a glag henke vier les na keer ka wil do, as van kaart as de chuljurid do, as vi trimsjach, as fissek hanna, de rawi kaadle, as na beeg eblid egge de liege seri, as tre henke hugge, und shen ven a lai na kaadle. Renny Claare as daier, ach a doddy doostay. Esh huggy na lai bullien richeliadi as pert de ale, as sech de fin, a fair nish huisher be ve de e as de you, scum of veche. Kirby, the house, had been built originally between 1813 and 1816 for Colonel Mark Wilkes, who famously was the governor of St. Helena when Napoleon was sent there. Napoleon admired the beauty of Miss Wilkes, Colonel Mark Wilkes' daughter, Laura Wilkes, who went on to marry John Buchan, and as Lady Buchan founded the school in Castletown. It was Laura who persuaded her father to raise Kirby to a third floor. After Mark Wilkes's death in 1831, Lady Laura and Sir John Buchan took up residence there, but as we heard later, they leased it and then sold it to Sir George Drinkwater. Sir George enjoyed a carriage ride out, and one of his favourite routes took him out to the Strang and up Ballaotes Road and down into the valley over the River Glass by a bridge, which is called Sir George's Bridge. On Sir George's death in 1850, he left the estate to his nephew, William Leese Drinkwater, the son of his younger brother John. William Leese Drinkwater, later from 1877, Sir William. Now, the first collection of music from the Isle of Man published was the Mona Melodies in 1820, from which this is one of the songs. And for the Mona Melodies, Charles Barrow took the tune of Cred Tau Gol Mannin Veg Veen and he paired it with words by his son John Barrow, and it was a song called The Storm Is Up, and there we heard it being sung by Mandy Griffin, accompanied by Frank Woolley. William Lease Drinkwater had been appointed second Deemster in 1847 and in 1855 became first Deemster, a position he held until his retirement in 1897. At the time he retired, he was about 85 years of age, and he was to enjoy a further 12 years of retirement until his death in 1909. We heard William Gell referring to Sir William Lease Drinkwater as the owner of the stately home and park here near the Saddlestone, though without actually naming it as Kirby, which is to the north side of Saddle Road, with its former walled gardens on the south side, now in the garden centre. He calls him Mannin's legal patriarch, and he'd been second Deemster for 8 years and then served about 42 years as first Deemster. In 1906, Sir William would have been 94 years of age, hence William Gell's question here. What held thee in this earthly pen beyond the 80 years and 10? What sterling judgment to the core, with honest use of legal law, gave thee the added 24? As gauw I feinje vain werk, as huggie I verege, as van ennem ek greine tjorri. As verjere huggie na lai ljorish skriwen, on verskruut she sul ju weer gordei, as ul ju jou vons verdeel, as na smoon shen doortenies, Tammy fagan an seo na wadú saoil mi. Ach, ma vis an aidne de yinu an rid shen, tag gus castel erst Stromberg, ta fis ma vis da aidne de be able jet. As tref olju je seo jint, hai sus rish sa chart, as hai gus castel erst Stromberg. Tre rennen dun je duste, as honnig de rawi na chadle, bij trimsach sa chriege, as smunion de rawish jittes ngol, as na rawi liege sari. Tre honnig na bun na lai risheliadi, renne liai skriwen, renninch de olju. As jiria, as gawi tair chalirach gol gus castel erst Stromberg, gen a rau fissige, red bushen. And that was a Cornish trio called Crowd, made up of Richard Trethewey, Neil Davey and Jen Dyer, and they were playing a tune called Ton Garrow, written by Henry Tamblyn. Crowd is the Cornish for what in Welsh is a crwth, that bowed instrument, but these days tends to refer to a fiddle, and there all three of them played their fiddles. Now this is actually, speaking of a crowd and crwth, the name Crowther means a crwth player.
Station, Manx Radio.
Stasiwn ar asiwn dy radio fanning, sé Claare na Gael wisgol ar sgeliene cartnish, mish Robert Cutting Carswell, Robert a Carslach ma da.
Have you heard tell of owl Bobby Bob?
Treve stravege me giet se tail rish trail jouwer, henke gus keel dorige, as ons shen rennie kiauw kagish. Ons corre berfedden de red mag haastje, gin we able de yino shen. Eg gerren tre sjo tre be tarn gus a faster beg, we geski der en ik corre heen de leishies fo cus de hamagan as rennie kadle. A lea gain higher rosh rish, as the faster beg tre be chi corre in the lai rish de royal fe, gile Kenya as dobberen nach dodde kadle. As mush anur te lampigen guller fode, Jesus as honneke solis michus a Gael, as diria as diare, as hure maag de denke by tai begin de by fiebeg de jaru, a fair, ons shen van a jado fo rosh, As ren dyn je smunnin rischen heen, de jinnach e coré bergols jachon as de jinnach e for fagen de bech e crai hon, as de jinnach e call a blios. Ve jere ve kjerts en agniege, as Hewley stjach on. Kirk Braddan next, the sacred spot where sainted Drury ne'er forgot, for thousands tied the marriage knot. The dear old parson, honoured name on Mannin's sacred scroll of fame. Brave, giant heart in giant frame. Well, to find out more about a figure such as William Drury, we'd perhaps expect to find something in A. W. Moore's Manx Worthies of 1902, but all we find there is Vicar of Braddan. No account of him can be given, owing to his eldest son, the Reverend William Drury, Vicar of Burton-on-Trent, placing his veto upon it. Well, fortunately, the Reverend John Gelling researched the records for his 1998 book, A History of the Manx Church. William Drury was born in Port Erin in 1808, entering Holy Orders in 1832, and famously holding the position of Vicar of Braddan from 1847 until his death just over 40 years later in 1887. He was well known as an evangelical, a low church man who valued simplicity of service. He spoke Manx well and often preached in it. Now we heard South East Island quartet Talua singing of Molly Gourch na Chulanon, inspired by a recording by Muireann Nicowliv from Corca Ruina, the Dingle Gaeltacht. Well, here is Muireann Nicowliv, and here she sings of another Molly, Molly San Shorsha, Molly St. George.
She an shin san shosha anoig ben rogbor le fisher le moron le skevis le bedam she an hunogi she's on
We're on Nick Howliff and the Irish Chamber Orchestra in an arrangement by Donal O'Connor of a harp tune by Thomas O'Connellan, about 1640 to 1698, and that was one of the three earliest harp tunes to which lyrics were written by Thomas O'Connellan's, he was alive at the same time, Cerwal Og O'Darley. He was from Gorey in Wexford. Now, William Gell describes the Reverend William Drury as brave, presumably because of the stance he took against Bishop Horatio Powys. Now, Horatio Powys was born in 1805, the year of the Battle of Trafalgar, of course. He was Bishop of Sodor and Man in 1854 until his death in 1877. He was unpopular with the Manx clergy, on the one hand because he was a high churchman, and also because he was high-handed, dictatorial and petty. The conflict with William Drury was over St Thomas's Church, which should have been built in 1849. It lay in Kirk Braddan, and William Drury, as vicar of the parish, had the right of appointment of the incumbent. However, the bishop claimed that right for himself, and even his own legal advisers said he was wrong, but he wouldn't have it any other way. He caused St Thomas's, as he couldn't get his own way at that time, he caused St Thomas's to be closed for over a year. The bishop then tried to get a bill passed to make Douglas separate from Braddan with 3 parishes, to which the bishop would have the right to appoint. So he was a divisive figure and one whom William Drury opposed. As honnig a fore, statjen liam de velle jit doorte, svoda nish ein jiris verbegem de niam goil shiver my jeed. Fuddy de gin doorten dunje, ach a ginam goil boga jay. Come a shen, with a sheery gin at the to ridden ach and shaw for the lina who. With a shen and firnis dan soer for the ukor egesh daidnya, grauwig son famer ridden ach na share, the raumi kiri you. Esh hired stjach on as hugget heen egge woord, as ren and dunje goil mach aran, fail as paltje fien. Tammy brau boeiach le shaw doet voor, as me so dear chwisjes va jiri chri. Look tamelt rennen dunje braich jay dat de inch de red va castel Stromberg. Num jean me castles beg chira doet voor, castles chira. A fair ersen tot a chulju valje as valje beg chira as higher nen gaurige. Now Welsh Trio have a great longing. Hiraeth Mawr.
Pan fyddoen rodio gyda'r dydd, fy nghalon fach yn mynd yn brydd, wrth clywed sŵn yr adar man, daw hiraeth mawr, mawr.
Hiraeth Mawr, performed by the Welsh trio Elfen, comprising Helen Blythe on accordion, Helena Rees on fiddle, and Jordan Price Williams on double bass. Jordan was here for an Cruniach with the band No Good Boyo not that many years ago. Masaw Renegedden the Castles beg Chira vs Chamerega, as Yiche son na Chastel a Charawi Regedden. Scumma shen doorte, host na Grecian ons cupboard, the Castles and beg a Chira ford on a smoon shaw, nimmer Jean Oru. A shen morenad, ach, ons fordale. Now, the Reverend William Drury's eldest son, the Reverend William F. Drury, vetoed A.W. Moore's desire to give an account of his father's life in Manx worthies. The Reverend Drury's second son, Thomas Wortley Drury, also took holy orders, and, of course, looking ahead, unknown to William Gell at the time, he was writing in 1906, in the summer of 1907, Thomas Wortley Drury was appointed as Bishop of Soda and Man. As the Jaru Shananish, Chris Pearson is with you from 7 o'clock through to 9 with 2 hours of the best chill-out music for your Sunday evening. At 9 o'clock, Judith Lay will be opening up a virtual late-night lounge as she presents Sundown. We bring Claare and Gael to a close with Scottish six-piece band Calla, who are from Inverness, and they're playing a piece called The Land's End. My the law signed out Gull as Masaw. Until the next time then, this is Robert Cutting Carswell, Robert a Carslach.
Old Bobby Bob.
Wishing you a very good night eve. I'm a Crieri Ullu as Orsa Rie, as my Yiri and Shed you Ullu.